And good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, what time you're watching this. Right now, we are having an awesome evening of basketball discussion through the Elite One recruiting platform. And our major focus is on the winter season that just finished in January of 2023. It was a great way to start the year. But here's a little history just before we get into the winter season. We had a showcase in May that featured about 60 athletes, quite a few athletes from Canada, from the US, from Barbados actually, and of course Jamaica. And off of the strength of that, we had a draft that I was also present for in July. And many of the players that were drafted in July participated in the Summer League. Now, the Summer League was also another 4 teams, fantastic basketball. It was during the 60th anniversary of Jamaica, so the summer was a huge buzz. It was an amazing time, and that led to the Winter League. And the Winter League, each team played a total of 6 regular season games, as well as playoffs. And tonight, we're here to talk about the Elite One recruiting, and we've got a few of the players here with us tonight. Our major focus is to focus on the winter player rankings, and the rankings that we'll be speaking of specifically tonight is the first half of the season. So enough about me. As I said, my name is Phil Edwards. I'm going to introduce my co-host tonight. My co-host is DJ Forbes, an exceptional athlete. I've had the privilege of actually doing some workouts with DJ. So it's one thing to watch someone play the game. But when you actually work out with an athlete, DJ's got phenomenal athleticism. You know, I'm still going back to July 9th because I still think I should have drafted DJ, but you know what? They say you can't cry over spilled milk. I had the awesome privilege, like I said, of seeing him on the sidelines, working him out on the court. I was also the commentator for this Winter League, and it was, a privilege and awesome to see DJ. He came in a little injured, and he peaked as the season went on. DJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Oh, fantastic. And we see that our other co-host is jumping back in with us as well, Willy London. It's amazing to have you gentlemen here. Before we jump right into the rankings, I'm going to ask you this before we jump into the rankings. Our rankings, and what is your view of the players here on the ranking? Before we even start talking who was ranked and where, what's your overall take? Give me an opinion of what you saw in these players.
For the most part, I agree with the rankings.
Okay. And DJ, I'm going to compliment you for a second, but this is also going to come in the form of a question. What is your initial position? If you had to choose, what position are you? What position are you, DJ?
If I had to choose, I'd choose shooting guard.
Okay, he's a shooting guard. Okay. And the reason why I asked that is I've seen you play 1, 2, 3, and maybe even 4. I've seen you out there doing it all. So, it's you're one of those players that, when I need you to go out there, you'll get it done on the offense end and the defense end. So that's good to know. Your traditional position is a shooting guard. Okay. All right. Well, without any further ado, I think we should just get into some of these rankings. And we're going to start off right away, no hesitation, with the shooting guard position. I'm going to tell you this right now. We have the privilege of having here in our host tonight, on our show, live with us, the number 1 ranked shooting guard for the E1CBL. According to the Elite One recruiting stats, we have Cameron Burhannon out of the USA standing at 6'2". He was the leading vote getter amongst the coaches and players. Can we have some highlights on Cameron, please? Completes the highlight section. Listen, those highlights don't do any justice. I had the privilege of being the MC live in the arena, And I tell you right now, off the very first game, actually before the game, even from the warm-ups, because that's how I scout the game. I watch how guys are professional and how they warm up and their approach to the game. And Cam Burhannon, I gotta say, man, thank you for being on the show. You brought it from the start of the game, every single night. Pleasure having you here. Cam, how are you?
I'm doing great, and it's an honor to be here.
Good, good. You know, there's a song out there, there's a hip-hop old school song from my day that says, what does it take to be number one? What does it take to be number one, Cam?
Well, that's a spot that I feel that I'm still striving to get to and improve my game every day. But it goes all the way down to how you prepare, your preparation. I'm always in the gym. I'm always trying to find advantages and edges to get better and be better, working on my body, having multiple trainers, my daily habits that I do each and every day. It's all a preparation, and it's a marathon, honestly.
Okay. You know, I've got to say, your shooting guard skills are so phenomenal. I've got to say this. I'm glad I'm getting the chance to say this here live on the air right now. And you got it from the handle, you got it from the mid-range, you got it from the outside, you got the athleticism. If someone were watching your game, or actually your own critique, what would you say is your strongest point about your game?
Definitely my scoring in the ways that I could score. Many players can score the ball, but I feel like it's different levels to it, and I would say that's probably my best attribute, is the way I'm able to score the ball, whether it's from the post, from the mid range, from the three. Okay. I would say that for sure.
And we saw you score a lot of buckets this season. What's your personal high? I got to ask this question. I always ask scorers this question. What's your personal high ever?
62.
Okay.
I did that last year in Mexico where I was playing.
You put up a 62 ball. That's amazing.
Sorry. I would have beat that in that game when we played Storm, but I missed like 5 free throws. And I think I had 58.
Okay, there you go. So, DJ, Willy, you got any questions for Cam before we get into these rankings? It's always a pleasure to have, a player of his caliber here online with us. So if you got any questions before we jump into these rankings, take it away, guys.
From the first game, I was like, yo, this dude is going to be a problem. So what was it like playing against the local players?
I honestly, I think I was blessed to play with one of the best local players there, which is Lushane. I definitely respect him a lot, from a standpoint of like, how is he doing this? I believe he was the only player in the league to average a double-double. And I was just amazed at how he could show up to our games and perform like that, especially after working out the same day or having a track meet the same day. Like one of the first practices, I was in the weight room talking to him while he was lifting, and he was just talking to me casually with 315 on front squat as a warm-up. I just thought that was so crazy. I've never seen that before.
Okay.
That's my boy, man.
DJ, Cam's your teammate. Cam, how did you find DJ as a teammate?
Man, I was so relieved when DJ was healthy and he was able to play, because he helped me take some of the load off of me with the ball handling and just getting the ball up the court. And he definitely caught me off guard with his jumping. I like, what? He just casually two-hand dunk. I didn't see that coming at all, for real. I know he told me that he was athletic as he was hurt, but I didn't think it would be like that.
He got them sleeper creeper hops, and then once you find out, it's like, oh, he's here. And DJ, what about you? How was it playing with Cam as a teammate?
Nah, honestly, it was an incredible experience. I don't think I've played alongside a guard like that in my life. Like, incredibly talented player. All props to you, Cam. Like, and his work ethic also outside off the court. Like, you can see that he puts in the work to get where he's at, and he doesn't stop. So shout out to you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I was just wondering how disappointed were you, Cam, to not being able to play in the finals, because I was looking forward to seeing a Waves and a Rise in finals, like, because I had a peg for the MVP, so I was kind of disappointed. How did you feel about not making it? Because I was, my opinion, but I just think that the ref made a bad call and caused you all to go to overtime. How do you feel about that?
It's something that I pondered on for a while. I was very upset, but I just had to decide to let it go and just to let it fuel me in my future endeavors, because I was very disappointed in the last two calls that happened, at the game. But at the end of the day, like, we gave the game away to even be in that position. We was up 4 with like 10 seconds left. I should have just held the ball. Simple.
Okay.
I should have held the ball. I tried to drive and get a bucket, but once I was in the paint, I stopped. And one of the players, Devin, intentionally fouled me on my shoulder really hard in front of the ref, and the ref didn't call it. So I kicked the ball out because I was in the paint, 3-second call. And then it was a turnover. So I should have just not drove and just held the ball, and we would have been good. But on top of that, it's very disappointing. But I feel like even with the refs or not, like, we literally gave the game away. We had like 2-3 turnovers last 10 seconds. So
yeah, I saw those. All right, good.
Yeah, man. All right. You know what, fellas? Let's get into these rankings. Let's get that list up there. Thank you for that share, Cam. Great question, Willie. All right, so we have 13. This is probably the biggest category. We got 13 players here in the shooting guard ranking. Now, let's be open, gentlemen. This is not, this is what we have these podcasts for. Is there anyone that we should be sliding up or down on these rankings?
I would definitely put Martin Dixon Green at 2.
2, yes, for sure. That's what I was.
Okay, so we got 1 vote for Martin Dixon Green to move from 4 to 2. Okay,
yeah, I was gonna say that. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, and any other movements? I'm a fan of. I thought Ricky Shuford, despite the outcome of the blue team, he got a lot of athletic bounce. He's got a huge battery in him.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at Ricky Shuford at the number 2 spot, why I was cool with that is I can't look at the results of the team while I'm watching the performance of the individual. Ricky Shuford was up and down the court. He logged a lot of minutes. He's very athletic as well. A volume scorer. The role that he played on his team, I felt that the blue team was perhaps 1 or 2 front court players away from also getting some wins. So it's kind of hard to give blue any look sometimes when the whole team, when the whole Rivers is just always falling apart. It's kind of hard to look at a team when they're falling apart. But I look at it from the individual, and I saw one game when he was actually tearing up because it meant that much to him, and he was working. I could say this right now: if you were to clone anybody on that team, if you cloned Ricky, they would have done a lot better as a squad, right? But that's just accolades to one person. Anybody else on that list that you want to give a special shout out? Or I like looking at the list and saying, watch out for this guy. Anybody to watch out for on that list?
Romario Millis.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was probably the youngest one there. I remember him in high school, even though it's not like international, but he scored he averaged like 40 points.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know the work ethic him and his brother has towards the game of basketball. So I know that if he gets to play more and get more comfortable, he'll definitely be moving up in ranking.
What about you, DJ? Any players to watch out for? Did you see anybody that you said?
Could we pull the list back up?
Yeah.
And Devin. I like Devin.
Oh, yeah.
Devin.
That deaf kid, I don't even think he realizes what he's got in him. And
I like Devin Gay.
Alex. Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to Alex. Alex, I saw Alex in the summertime, and then I was coaching in a tournament. He was giving me work, man. Not me, the player, as in my teammates. So I know what Alex has in him. DJ, I know you can say that as well because you know Alex and his performance.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I know he didn't get the chance to show up, like, as much as we see him in every other competition, like in the CBL, but, like, Alex is a problem. And
KD is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I got a promise. A gentleman told me to warn the league. Antoine McFarland said he's coming out with some scoring next season. So he played a bit of a team role. He gave that commitment. I'm going to put that on the record as a quotation. Antoine McFarland said, watch out for his game. He's coming hard, strong. So, Cam, you sitting in the number one. Thank you for being here. A lot of guys are coming for that title. I hope you are. Well, you know what it takes to defend that. So, that ain't no problem for you. But thank you for setting the tone and setting the pace. We really appreciate that.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Cam.
Yeah. All right. So, gentlemen, there we have it. That's the shooting guards. What I love about the shooting guard category is, it's one of the most glorified positions. Let's be honest. Michael Jordan played it. Kobe Bryant played it. Like, we list a lot of shooting guards that have done it so well. So we're jumping into a position right now, gentlemen. We have in the building tonight with us the Skywalker himself. Ty Walker is in the building. Let's get some highlights on Ty Walker. Now, those highlights do not do the justice of the man himself. I'm going to tell you this. Here's the challenge of the center. I'm not a center. I'm far from a center. But I'll say this. The world, the audience, it's one of the positions that the crowd wants to critique the most. Yet we short people look at these tall trees up there and we make all kind of comments. But I'm telling you right now, I saw Ty Walker make some blocks that if he wasn't in basketball, I would have said, this guy's literally reaching for coconuts out in the sky. Like, the ball is way up there, and the timing required to block some of the shots that he'd be blocking, and all the centers actually. But yes, Ty Walker, welcome to the building. How you doing, Ty?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good. Before we even get it too far about the league itself, a little bit about Ty Walker. Ty, where have you played? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Obviously, D1 college, I went to Wake Forest University, and then straight out of there, I went to EuroLeague France with Limoges CSP. And then after that, I was in top division of Poland. Shortly after, I ended up in the NBA G League, where I was blessed to be on a 10-day contract, with the Boston Celtics, but I got injured. Pretty much been overseas ever since. A little bit of South America, back in Europe and Slovakia, and now as of late, Canada, Jamaica, and back in Canada again.
Yes, sir. That's listen, for those who are listening, this is what the sport of basketball can do to you. So, one, pay attention in geography class, because that map, Ty Walker has seen the map.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah,
Ty, give us a little insight about this awesome E1CBL experience. I mean, just before we get into the rankings, you came up to Jamaica. Was this your first time to Jamaica, first of all?
Actually, it was my first time in Jamaica.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about it.
It was a cool experience, man. I got to meet a lot of young players. I really came because I believe in the program. I believe in the movement and what Wayne got going on. I just wanted to be able to come out and, try to uplift some of the younger generation, see the new wave of talent, and just take in the competitive basketball atmosphere.
Okay. So, as I said to you guys, I'm an observer. And when Ty Walker came in, shaking people's hand, good afternoon, sir, how you doing? He spoke to the table guest. He spoke to one of the ladies who was sweeping the floor. He held up the security guard. Like, I sat back and I'm like, this is professionalism 101 to the T. So, Ty, thank you for that, man. That right there is just character and integrity.
I appreciate it, man. I'm not perfect by any means, but at the same time, I feel as though everybody's deserving of respect at the end of the day. But at the same time, nobody's human. So, I came here to kind of rectify that. Willy, we got some things to talk about. You know what I mean? But just know at the end of the day, it's all love.
Okay. All right, bro.
All right. So we got a list. Now, this is last list was the shooting guards. It was a long list. We got 5 bodies here. let's jump right into it. Willy.
I mean, I thought. Oh, excuse me. My apologies.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You know what? Actually, yeah, Ty, take us through this, man. You actually, as a center, you matched up with all these guys as well. And when I'm looking at the list, we got 2 of them are from the same team. So this is already a bit of a question because no one from the Storm happens to be on this list. We've got from the Waves, yourself. We've got from the Horizon, Nikolai. We've got from the Horizon also Owain. And we've got Jordan and Carrick from the Rivers. But the Storm didn't have a center posted on this list. So right now we've got 5 gentlemen. Ty, take it away.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with the rankings. I think every one of the players on the list are promising players. Me personally, I'm most fond of Nikolai. He shows a lot of promise. I just feel as though with the right guidance, he could really make a force. I mean, be a force somewhere. Right guidance. He could really make a force. I mean, be a force somewhere. But all the other guys, Carrick, Owain, all good guys. They all hard workers. I think Jordan's on the list as well. He's a really good guy. Like I said, you got up and coming players that are willing to work hard, show potential, And I mean, like I said, you got to look out for them for a period of time to come.
There we go. Okay. My panelists, Willy, DJ, talk to me.
All right. The only issue I had was, in my opinion, I think Nikolai should have been number 1, but I didn't even look at the vote to see that they both tied and got 28 out of 30. You understand? I didn't see that part. I just saw 1 and number 2, and I was like, I think Nikolai should have been number 1 because, in my opinion, he showed more hustle and I say like aggression towards the game. I'm not sure if because Ty played it before. Ty was more laid back to me, right? And then I spoke to some of his coaches and they were explaining to me afterwards that he's been injured. He's been playing injured. I don't know that. I'm just there as a fan saying, why is this guy was supposed to be dominating, not dominating? Because just walking in and seeing him in the gym, I was like, yo, watch out for that guy. I'm sure he's going to be dunking on a lot of people. So when I didn't see that, I was like, man, what's going on? You understand? But as I say, I meant no disrespect by my comment or anything like that. But
hey, listen, this is the beautiful thing about commentary, right? You're stating your observation and your opinion. And my response right now is not a rebuttal, but I'm going to say this. And I said this to Ty when I was watching him play. Ty was actually facilitating a lot of the game. I saw Ty get rebounds.
And I was upset with that.
Okay.
I was upset. Like I saw Ty get a ball inside and he passed it out for a 3, but I was like, man, dunk on somebody in there. But I didn't know that he was injured.
Right.
You understand? So I was like, yo, I wanted to see him dunk on somebody. But I found out later that he's been playing injured. I didn't know that.
Right. So,
but the list that's there, easily 1 and 2.
Okay.
Everybody else is in the right spot to me. Right there.
And DJ, can you give a feedback? I gotta hear from you as well before I start giving some summary. DJ, what do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I know Ty, like on the inside, we played on the same team. Like he knows that I've been at him a couple of times about how he's playing. But honestly, yeah, Ty does make an impact. Like regardless of like if he's scoring or rebounding or not, there's definitely. Are you hearing me? There's definitely,
we can hear you, bro.
Definitely a huge impact he creates just being on the court that no one really wants to think about. And in addition to Nikolai, yeah, he had a hell of a season. So all props to him. He played like really well. He looked so comfortable out there. So definitely 1 and 2, honestly.
You know what I saw, and this is not me making a comparison in any way, but I just remember when Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett were playing the game, and people are talking about power forwards. Now I know they're both power forwards, sometimes playing the center position, but a lot of people watch the loud. And Nikolai's he's a sprinter. He's an up and down guy. And Ty, I saw there's times where Ty's like, all right, I want the rebound. I'm gonna give it to the guards. I'm gonna get down there, and we're gonna set things up. And so there's a difference there's 2 styles of basketball. And if I had them both on my team, I'm going to say, okay, if I'm running up tempo, Nikolai, get in there and run. And if I want to sit down, hey, Ty, let's set some tempo. Let's run some sets. And I'm actually struggling right now because it's not me trying to just say I can't choose, but I'm struggling because there's a time and place for both. And so I was watching the games and I said, you know what? This is where the international basketball comes in, because I've played in Jamaica and I've been playing international, and I'm struggling because, you know, it's really, I sat there and I saw the numbers. You said it, Willy. The numbers were tied at 28 out of 30. And I sat back and I said, well, Ty played, and this is only mid-season rankings, of course. We're still waiting for the overall end-of-season projection. But I saw Ty play, you know, every game. Maybe I should even go here because Ty did play every game, but that's afterwards. We'll talk about the afterwards part. At this mid-season point, according to the E1 recruiting, now remember, there's 4 of us on the panel right here, but this is voted by the players. It was voted by the coaches. So midway through the season, this is where we sat. Ty sitting at the number 1. Nikolai also sitting with 28 votes at number 2. Who do you see promising, gentlemen? I know I'm going to ask this question because we know Nikolai and Ty. They're, you know, it's like Tyson Holyfield, or who else can go against Tyson? Tyson versus Muhammad Ali, you name it. It's like 2 big-time guys going in the same ring. What's your thoughts on Owain Lawrence, Jordan Calhoun, and Carrick Davis? Anyone have any insight, any opinion?
Y'all mind if I jump in real quick? Just
absolutely,
real quick. I mean, I don't mean to like go before anybody, but I just had the opportunity to be out there and actually have to guard those guys. So I just feel like going first is kind of a thing
absolutely.
for me. A promising player. I mean, 2 promising players that I really will highlight is Owain and Carrick. I really got a chance to like watch them in workouts. You know, Owain pretty much has like a pretty automatic mid-range game. Like I watched him when they were able to play 5-on-5 at GC Foster and things like that. You know, he didn't get the most minutes because obviously he's playing behind Nikolai, but he has a pretty automatic mid-range game. He's an older guy as well. I think I want to say Wayne is what is he, 29? If I'm not mistaken.
I think he's 25.
He's 25 actually.
If I'm correct, I spoke to him once and I thought he told me he was 25. Now to add to you, Ty, he's also a national volleyball player.
Yeah, he did tell me that. He told me that. So it's like he had an obvious feel for the game. But like I said, his mid-range was just the most impressive to me. He shot it with confidence. It didn't matter if it was 12 feet, 15 feet, 19 feet. He just had a good feel for the basketball and his jump shot. So him as well. But Carrick, I just think he needs more of an opportunity. He just didn't get a lot of opportunities to be able to go out there to show what he can do. That blue team was more of a fast pace, get up and down with Ricky Schuper type of team. But I think he shows a lot of promise if he continues to work at his game. You guys can feel free to to speak.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I would look at it, hey, give a 7-footer a chance. That's just me being on the sidelines saying, hey, as a coach, I can work with 7 feet because the rest, let me work with it. At least let him fail versus just letting him sit. That's just my little. I agree with you, Ty. Willy, you were gonna say.
Right.
No, I was gonna say Carrick has not really gotten proper coaching from I've known him, to be honest. Like he's I think that if Carrick really get proper coaching, the ceiling is high for him. He's probably the youngest one there. I'm not certain, but I think Carrick is the youngest one there. And again with this list, if you check the team stats, I think Owain is listed as a power forward, but they have him as a top ranking center. Yeah. Personally, I would definitely put Fabian Sutherland on this list if Owain is there, and I would probably put Fabian at number 3 and Jordan at number 4, Owain at number 5, and Carrick at 6. What
about O'Shane O'Brien from the Storm, the black team? Because I thought that if Rel is a forward, I thought O'Shane was the center, number 10. That's just
number 10.
Yeah, on the Storm, the black team.
Yeah, let me look at O'Shane.
He's what, 6'11"? But you know, that's a
6'10"
whole
and
nother
6'11".
conversation.
Yeah. 6'10",
Yeah, he's
6'10",
he's the big boy. And
Oh,
Rob,
Rushane. No, Rushane. Yeah, I would. Yeah, he's listed as a power forward, but I would put him there also, and he'll be up in ranking. And is I'll give him. He has a lot of potential, and he's very coachable from what I've observed. I think he's from Mandeville also. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
O'Shane. I would definitely put O'Shane
Hey.
there, but I just think that Kerrick has the least amount of coaching, maybe the least amount of time on the court. So yeah, I just think he needs more coaching, and his ceiling is high.
Ty Walker,
agree.
Ty, I forgot to ask you this question, man. What's your biggest stat line that you've ever had, whether high school, college, what's the most points, most blocks, or rebounds? One of them. Just give us some stats. Give me something.
I mean, I'll just do one. It was when, like, I got an offer from UNC Chapel Hill. It was Roy Williams in attendance. It was like a rival game, but I had 36 points, 19 rebounds, and 18 blocks.
Wow.
And no fouls.
Uh-huh.
So
there you go. There you go. All right,
I mean,
DJ, you got anything to add?
Nah, that's big. Like,
yeah.
18 blocks is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously, you know, just to quickly add in, I mean, like I said, all of this stuff is just a blessing. Unfortunate. And like I said, one other one that was just memorable to me is I broke Tim Duncan's shot blocking record for block game while I was at Wake Forest. I think his was 10, and I ended up getting 11. So that was a blessing. He ended up taking me out to dinner. It was a crazy experience.
Mr. Fundamental himself. That's big. All right, Ty.
Yeah.
What's next for you after playing days? What do you have in store? Any idea? Have you thought there yet?
I mean, I want to try to get on the other side of the lines of coaching. I just want to do something that kind of fits hand in hand with basketball. But as you know, you can't play forever. You know, I'm getting old. So at the end of the day, I just want to try to pay it forward in any aspect of basketball that I can. Like I said, whether that's coaching, element, life coach, mentorship, whatever it requires regarding basketball. I just want to try to empower the next generation, you know, to be the best that they can be.
And you know what? I asked that question because I see that professional in you already. I just wanted to know where you were taking all these skills and taking it. So, Ty, thank you for being here. Keep on with that professionalism because it's doing well. And I'm gonna hit you up in Canada, man. I'm in Canada. I'm in the north, so I'm gonna come watch one of your games.
You guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, Willy, it's all love. I'm glad we're online, bro. I want to take that time to apologize, not only to you, you know, but to Fabian, even though he's not here. Like, I don't mean no disrespect. Just know I was just raised. Like, if a person comes at me a certain type of way, I'm supposed to not back down. It's not a personal disrespect, personal vendetta type of thing. You know, at the end of the day, I just want to bury the hatchet. You know, we two black men at the end of the day trying to do what we do out here. And just know it's all love, bro, for real. Seriously. I don't mean no disrespect.
Yeah, man. No, bro, as I say, it was not personal and meant no disrespect, man. I was just they asked for the opinion on the page, and I just gave mine, man. I didn't even know you would have reacted that way, to be honest. You know,
yeah,
but
like
yeah,
I said,
dog,
it's
all love,
out of
man.
character. It's out of character.
Yeah, man,
like
it's all love, man.
I'm enough to admit my mistakes. So, but it's all love, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's all love. It's all love.
But you guys, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the next season. You know, hopefully I can come back a little bit better and really solidify my spot at the real number one position.
Yeah, man. Forward walk, man.
Yeah.
Duncan Fabian
too. I appreciate y'all, man. Got you. All love. It's all love. Appreciate y'all.
All
right. That respect.
Okay, that's you know what? That's the big man category. It's a position that I've never played. I was never tall enough to play center. Even as a guard, I could bang and hit the post, but you know.
Phil.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how Kerrick said he played less than 10 full games with a referee.
Yeah. Just before we get to the small forwards, that's a big statement. Go ahead, DJ. Talk about that.
I mean, honestly, that's the first time I'm hearing that, and that's actually crazy to me because you can tell he has a love for the game. So honestly, like with a lot of development, I can see him making a big impact maybe by next season or the following season.
100%.
I agree.
And I'm going to put it out there to all the coaches watching this. Let's take the training wheels off and get Kerrick in the game, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let him fail. If he fails, he fails. But I'd like to see him in the game. I'd like to see Jordan in the game. Because I'll tell you right now, if I'm driving to the lane and I see those 2 7-footers, I'm going to second guess my layup. Automatic. All right. Small forwards. This is the category. It's a hot topic because this is the position that LeBron James be playing. It's a position that Kevin Durant be playing. Position Larry Bird played. It's a well-coveted position. So we've got some highlights. Who's my audio person, my tech person? Get my highlights going on, Mr. Lushane Wilson. We got the man himself in the building. Yo, Lushane, what's your nickname? I'm sure you got a nickname. You can't be jumping that high out the gym and not have a nickname. What is your nickname?
I don't have a nickname, man.
No, we gotta come up with a name then.
They call me Breads. They call me Breads. I'm breadfoot, really, because my feet were growing with my age when I was younger, but it stopped when I was 13.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm saying right now, man, the way that your approach to the game, your approach to the rim. I'll give a history. Like I said, I was here for the May League. I was here for the draft. You were drafted number 3 overall, by the way. That's very, very huge. Hearing your name being called out and seeing you come dressed out, fly to the draft, everything. I remember these moments. These are moments in your life. I'm very professional at that. I got a chance to catch one of your college games this fall. And I also saw you in the summertime, of course. So I'm a fan of Lushane. I got to say, I've even asked him, when is he jumping in high jump? Because a little secret, I used to do high jump in high school as well, but nothing close to what Lushane's putting up. The gentleman that we're talking with here tonight, sitting in the number 1 spot in the small forward position. Lushane, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I played basketball in at St. Jago High School in Jamaica. Played against DeAndre a couple times as well. I done some decent battles there, but I hated their court. Their court. Garbage.
Okay. Can you hold the mic a little bit closer, Lushane? Can you hold the mic just a little bit closer? Yeah, here we go.
You hear me?
Much better.
Okay. I also did high jump and volleyball in high school as well. So, what you call an all-rounded athlete. I do a lot of stuff. I also play guitar and drums on my off days. So, yeah.
Wow. All right, so here we have it, a well-rounded man, Lushane. Lushane, you still in school? Is this your last year? Do you have another year left to go?
Oh no, I have like 2-3 more years, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so and I asked that question because it shows me how much promise and potential we have in our number 1 small forward in the E1CBL. He's got another 2 seasons to play in post-secondary. That's amazing. Gentlemen, before Lushane talks about this list, I know I've got my 2 panelists here. What are your thoughts? Anybody that we should be moved up? Anybody else who should have been number 1? Remember, this is mid-season, not end of season.
I'm good with the list.
Okay.
This category caused a lot of friction. Go ahead. Anybody else?
Yeah. I'll go ahead. Like 2 to 4 is really neck and neck for me, honestly. Like each Atley, Trey, and Assad, like. I don't know how to rank each of them on top of each other. I kind of see them like on the same level because they're all great players.
So I'm going to throw something on there. Number 5, Anthony Flimo White.
Yeah.
I think Flimo's getting knocked for being on such a diverse team. I think if he was on a team where the ball was in his hands a lot more, that's just my opinion of Flimo. I learned so much about him as a player.
Yeah.
He goes baseline to baseline. He does everything that a coach wants a player to do. He's on the floor. He's playing deep. He covers any position. He's wise. He's throwing on the odd dunk in transition. I just think he happens to be on the red team that is so stacked that we don't get to see how fantastic he is. Whereas some teams are only 4 or 5 deep. Red team's going 7, 8 guys deep. That's just my humble opinion. Shout out to Flimo.
Your opinion. I've won championships with Flimo, so I know the type of player he is. Flimo will do whatever needs to be done to win. Right? Ego is not a thing for him, so you'll be the best player and still take the second spot. And I even I'm upset with him a couple of times because of that, because I know how good he is and what he's capable of doing, but he's so humble with it. He doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, Flimo and like Blue Wave, what is it not?
Horizon.
Yeah, Flimo on Horizon. Yeah, but if he was on say Rivers, he would have been up there in top 1 and 2, I think.
I think if he was on Rivers or if he was on the Storm.
Yeah,
but we can't.
yeah, I'll
You
give
know
you
what?
that.
Let's not be a show that did woulda, coulda, shoulda. We can't do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
yeah,
basketball. That's not basketball. That's that. We don't do the woulda,
yeah,
coulda.
yeah. But
That's like me
the
saying right now,
red
I was
team
my
been
20s
stopped.
and I got to play in the league. No, we can't reverse father time. But we can't. We're gonna play with.
Let me add to that.
Yeah, man.
With Flimo, like from what I'm noticing, he recognizes talent that's also on his team. So he's not going to overdo it, knowing that he has all this skill set on his team. So he'll facilitate for that or step out of the way for that. I guess that's why we're not seeing him as much as we know he's capable of doing.
Right.
Like on the local scene, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so this list now, we're not gonna really shuffle the list because it's not the final list, but is there anybody on that list that we've got to watch out for to say no? There's a lot of youth on this list. I'll tell you that much.
Oh wow, there's a lot. I can speak for most of them because Derjean Royal and Jardine Johnson.
Yeah,
huge talents. Derjean was I think kind of a little injured, so he didn't really play as much in the earlier part of the season, so he didn't get to showcase a lot of his talent. If you need defense or if you need a key rebound or something like that, he's gonna box out and get it. He's gonna go for the players that are scoring a lot. He's gonna do the dirty work basically, especially if he's not injured. Especially Jardine Johnson as well. The two of them.
That's Stretch though, right? Yeah.
Stretch.
Again, I'm gonna say look out for Dante Millis also. His ceiling is very high. He's a very he doesn't. I'm not sure if you observe it, but if you ever even play pickup games with him, you'll never hear him call foul because of how that his father coached him, right? And I know
he's good for real. I think
so,
he settles a little bit too much on the jump shot though.
On the jump shot,
yeah, because he can drive.
Yeah.
I know he can drive.
Yeah, and he's a bit skinny, so if you put on a little push off, his ceiling is high. I think Royal shies away from I don't know. I know I see him warming up and I see how he plays outside of the league. For some reason, he doesn't show that on the court, like what I know he's capable of doing. I'm not sure why, but yeah, there's a lot of young players.
We'll attribute that to the mental aspect of the game because he's got the tools. I've seen him I've seen him win dunk competitions. I've seen him, in full court runs. But the mental side, when the big crowd is there, you got some international players, you got coaches, you got structure, you got referees, you got an MC. All these things are happening, and he goes.
And the crowd, I know, man. It's not easy playing on that court for sure.
So here's a question talking about that transition. We've got Lushane Wilson in the building right now. He's a phenomenal high jumper. He's now ranked as the #1 small forward. Lushane, where are you going with both those careers?
I really don't know, man. I really don't know.
Get that mic up, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really choose between the two. That's why you see me doing both of them. basketball, I really do love the sport. It's something I always wanted to play even before I did track and field. But because basketball isn't really as big as it should be in Jamaica, um, most levels they start from primary school and up. So um, I wanted to start from there, but I didn't get the chance. But since track and field was big enough, I got into track and field. I was pretty quick, but not quick enough. So I went to high jump. Um, I always love high jump, man. I saw some people back flipping over bars and stuff like that. I would say I want to do that. So I really can't choose between the two. So that's why you see me doing both.
And my second question about high jump, Lushane, because I want to highlight this. One, what's your personal best, and where does that rank amongst colleges or professionals? Like, I know this is a basketball forum, but we need a little bit of education here.
So for right now, my personal best, I jumped it right after we finished that Storm semifinal. So I finished the Storm semifinal on the Friday. I had track meet on the Saturday. I was tired. I didn't think I was gonna get it, but it was 2.26 meters. I don't know what it is really in feet, but it's over 7, probably 5 or something like that.
And where does that get you qualifying for Olympics? Like, because this is the language once again. We're basketball folks. Where does that qualify you?
For right now, the qualifying mark to go to not Olympics, World Champs, that's keeping this year. Olympics is next year. It's supposed to be 2:33, but as long as you're in the top 32 in the world, you'd get to go. But I don't want to do that, I want to make sure I solidify my spot. So I'm trying to get the 2:33 in due time,
Okay. Your double doubles.
Boss.
Talk to me about your double doubles, Lushane. How? First of all, what does it take to be a double double man? Talk to me.
A lot of work, really, a lot of work. Trying to seem unassuming while still seeming like you're going to go for it, but not really. It's a lot of work. I just try to be sneaky, really, because most of my damage is on the offensive rebounds. Because I have people like Ty on my team, so most of the defensive rebounds go to him sometimes. So I try to, get into basically. So DJ would shoot a shot, right? And he doesn't know if it would miss or anything like that. But I could judge it. I catch it for him. But that's that comfort he has in taking that shot, because he know that a good offensive rebounder would be there to catch it for him if he does miss. So yeah.
So DJ, tell me that. That's a perfect segue. DJ, as a teammate with Lushane, what's it like playing with him? And I heard earlier Lushane said that you've also played against him. What's that? What are both of those like?
Yeah, honestly, Lushane, honestly, I would say he's exceeding me at this point. In high school, he knows that I'll beat him all the time. I'm kidding, but it will always be a good competition. But no, seeing how Lushane has grown, to be honest, is really impressive. Like, honestly, he's becoming pro level talent, and I don't think he notices how well he's playing. So, like, even on the bench, even coaches along as us teammates, we set the bar really high for him. So there's little things that he does that we will like pick at him for, because we just know the level that he could be at. Like, he could definitely be out of this country with what he contributes to the game.
So Willy, you being a coach in other Jamaican leagues and seeing talent across the island, where does Lushane fit in?
He's at the top. I told him that, like, even like the first couple of games, I was like, Lushane, play a game, bro. You have this. I see, and I mean, like, Lushane would probably have more points if he was on a different team also. To be honest, like, I've seen Lushane be open a dozen times on the court and the ball doesn't get to him, and he still makes an impact. Like, I remember couple of years ago, like there was this competition going on. I was like, yo, who win MVP? And I said, Lushane. I said, Lushane just dunk him dunk. And somebody said, no, him improved. This dude improved. Like when I see Lushane, I take over, I'm like, yo, this man is in track and field and come and not start up basketball. Yo, bro, I was proud of you. I'm not gonna like,
Thank
yo,
you.
if you listen, you probably hear me shout Lushane,
We
you
did
see
hear
it,
a couple
like,
times.
yeah, man,
You know the little
yo,
area with you and Fabs and them.
yeah, yeah, man, yeah, you make me proud, bro. I swear, you represent the local players well.
Thank you, man.
Respect for that, man, and continue to put in the work, bro. The ceiling is very, very high.
Yeah, to be on the point that you were saying, like you did talk to me. I wanted to like get a feel for my teammates because we didn't get enough time to train with each other, because some of them reached late and stuff like that. So we tried to figure it out on the court. And when I realized I was comfortable in this role, then that's when I started really trying to do what I know I can do. So yeah.
Lushane, in the E1CBL history, you're the first player to record a 26-point, 20-rebound game. Talk to me. We're gonna wrap up with that now. Tell me, how does that? Do you remember that game, and how did that feel?
It felt amazing, really. As I said, the damage was mostly done on the offensive side because they weren't boxing out as much, and I was just slipping through everyone, trying to be like a little snake through there, getting the offensive rebounds and either kicking it out or finishing it. Get the garbage points, and that's how I got the 26 with the 20. So yeah.
Yo, did you know your stats were going to be like that game?
Oh no, hell no. I trained in the morning. I didn't think I was gonna play that well, so
Okay.
I did track training in the morning.
I'll wrap up with my thoughts on Lushane. I've seen Lushane jump off his 1 foot. I've seen him jump off his 2 foot. I've seen him jump off right foot or left foot. He's just that guy. Like coming down the court, you don't want to be the guy under the rim when Lushane's ready to caught that ball back and throw it down. So Lushane, you're a highlight reel. You're a great person. I see you got a couple more years of school. E1CBL is very proud of you. I know that Willy London and the other coaches who have seen you out in other leagues as well, represented Jamaica on the court and on the track and field. Fantastic, man. Thank you so much for being here, Lushane.
Thank you for having me. It's nice seeing you
man,
all.
big up yourself. Big up yourself, Lushane.
All right.
I'll still try to get better and better because my jump shot is kind of off right now because of track and field training. But don't worry about it. I'll try to keep my number one spot as well. So,
that is it.
Try to set the
sure
bar
BJ will be coming for it. I like the competition because I know the talent with BJ and KD and all of them possessing us. So
yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, so. Those are my teammates as well. I know that I know what they are capable of. I definitely know what they, especially Alex Levy, KD.
There you go. Yeah.
Especially that one. I know that he's a bucket if he's given the opportunity. So yeah.
All right. Lushane, sign off, man. Have a good night. All right.